Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the English Hour with Mr. Hudson. Today we have in our midst a very special person. We're gonna delve into two topics, which are the mass media and sports. Since he loves, sports, we're gonna delve into that as well. As you all know, um, when we say or when somebody asks you what is mass media or what is the media, in simple terms, it might go like, the term media, which is the plural of medium, refers to the communication or channels through which we disseminate news for people far and near to hear, whatever the news might be, whether it's music, whether it's movies, education, promotional messages, and other data. So basically, this is the main definition of the media, and it might include physical and online papers or newspapers or magazines and television, radio, billboards, telephone, the internet, and fax. Nowadays we don't usually come across with fax, but then it used to be part of the media. Um, so without much ado, I would like him to introduce himself, and after we're gonna start with the conversation properly. Hello, Mister.
Hello, Mr. Hudson. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing awesome, and you?
Fine, thanks. I just arrived at home after work, and I'm very pleased to talk with you about the topics that you mentioned,
Okay.
mass media and sports. That an important topics for me.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna start with the conversation. The first question I would like to put across is, where do most people in Colombia per se get their news from?
Well, here in Colombia, I think all around the world, in the last decade, the style of searching for the news and receiving the news have changed. There were two things that have a great difference because they were traditional media, radio, television, and press. But today's the news reached you, they invade you, and that is due to social media. I think if you have an account of social network, and depending on all depends of algorithms of your searches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On that depends on what you like. All kind of news begin to arrive. Then social networks have become that mean of information, and you have to play with it, and you have to also to play with the fake news as well. We see it on Facebook, we see it on Twitter, we see it on Instagram. The problem is to believe all the news that reaches you, that becomes to you, that sometimes that cannot be true. That's the problem. Because the basic principle of the news sometimes is lost because of all the information that are in the air. You only need to take it. Is your work if you believe it and you replicate it. We are talking about veracity, objectivity, and that's the problem with the mass media right now, and the social media as well. I think that the most problem is with the young audience that replicate everything, and that's a problem right now. I sometimes, or a year before of that, in television, in radio, you didn't have that, but now you have the power. But the most important thing is that you have the power to believe it or not.
Exactly, exactly. Talking about you having the power or somebody having the power to believe whether the news is true or not. Um, can I ask you if, here in Colombia, the media, um, do you guys report the whole truth, mostly the truth, or if I may ask, mostly lies?
Well, measuring it is quite complex because there are also several trends there. Here we have to talk about rating, the traditional rating in
Mhm.
mass media and the traditional measurement. You know what I mean? And the result of the likes network. We are living in the age of how can I say, if you understand me, like hunters. You know,
Okay.
yeah, in digital media, you can see likes hunter all around the world because there are the most important things in information right now. The mass media are not worried about the objectivity, like I said before. It's more about the meaning of the likes right now in Facebook. You have many mass media um, traduce the veracity, the great information
Mhm.
is due to the the most likes you have, and that's not the truth in everything.
Mm.
Do you know?
Yeah.
I think that right now that is 50-50
Mhm.
because, like I said before, you have the power of believe it or not, you have the power of replicate or not, but it's in you mm, to be honest and look for the veracity information and confront it. You
Mhm.
know,
Okay.
that is.
Yeah. In some years back, we didn't have the internet, to facilitate or to speed up the news that we want to carry across, from one place to the other. We just had
Yeah.
maybe the radio or maybe the television, but the internet wasn't that, we weren't that conversant with the internet like we are used to now. Yeah. So
Yeah, I know.
the coming of the internet or invention of the internet, do you think it has helped to change the news or for the better, or it has worsened the whole you know carrying or propagating the news across Colombia?
Well, I think right now, not only in my country, in Colombia,
Hmm.
throughout to the world, because the media now have to be much more, how can I say, rigorous is
Hmm.
the word. Yeah, rigorous. The journalist has to be much more rigorous with the information before publishing it, even though we now, right now, live in the world of light, like I said,
Yeah.
and the speed of the information.
Hmm.
You didn't have to look for anything. It's there.
Hmm.
It comes to you at the moment. It appears. It runs over you.
Hmm.
So you have been measured with the information that you are receiving and you are replicating. Mm, I think that before, like 20 years or also 10 years before, we didn't have this problem. But now with the social media, you have something that is changed.
Hmm.
For example, you have an information, news that is published, but at the moment, at the second, is published also in social media. Why?
Hmm.
Because it's gonna be on most of the people and most of the audience, and more than you can imagine, because it's worldwide. So I think we need to be careful about that. That's it. You need
Yeah.
to corroborate. You have the you have the tools in internet, so use it properly. I
Okay.
think that is the target. That is.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about that, we're talking about the media. Uh, everywhere you go, there are people who control or oversee, you know, the process of every medium. Yeah. So
Yeah.
in the case of Colombia, who has the most power or the most control over the media?
Yeah, that's the big question. A really great question, because I can say today, whoever has the control over their social network
Mhm.
has the control of their information. Yeah, that's a principle and a basic form that you have to work with it.
Yeah.
The problem is whether it's well or poorly used. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in general, here in Colombia, large economic groups that are the owner of the social media. For example, we seen in Semana Magazine. Do you know Semana Magazine here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big magazine, but it belongs to the one of the largest economical groups in the country.
Mhm.
Just like the Santo Domingo group is another economical group here in
Mhm.
Colombia, which are the owners of the Caracol television,
Mhm.
you know, and have an alternative media such a newspaper like El Espectador, is a big controversy. Also, another magazines, Cine Colombia is the name of the enterprise, that the name of the movies important economical group center here.
Mhm.
And for example, another group is the Ardila Lule. Ardila Lule Groups owns RCN Radio and RCN Television.
Mhm.
And the problem is that this media must be obeyed the guidelines and the editorial structures of these economical groups. So, like I say at the beginning, whoever has the control over their social network has the control of the information, and this economical group has the control of everything. No, they are allied of political issues and social issues, and big business around the information. So the information can be biased, can I say, or objectivity can be lost at the
Mhm.
moment, relegate, and the important thing is the public must know the everything,
Yeah.
and with this power is difficult here in Colombia. I think in all around the world is the same thing.
Yeah. It's the same everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Talking about the media one more time. Do you think the media help to create a healthy society?
Mm.
Sometimes you see some images on television or you hear something on the radio, and health wise, it's not good to show or listen to those kind of news. But then
Yeah.
you don't have any option than to watch. So do you think the media has helped in creating a healthy society for the consumption of people?
Yeah, it's another big question and another big problem, but you have the solution, because I think the most important thing is to leave the option to choose different kind of content.
Mm.
Cool, cultural, for example. Here we have channels like RTVC, Colombian Signal, belongs to the government, but they promote culture things, different kind of things. that we need to learn, we need to watch,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But that type of content that goes from your home, that goes from your parents, that goes from the education, and we don't have that culture thing of watch that this kind of content, you know. We need good news right now. We need good news, or just simply good news. A big mass media uh, that appropriate this kind of news, just good news. I think not just in Colombia, we're we're having for such a long time difficult times, and all around the world as well. I don't mean that we need to forget about that, you know, but uh, just for health is we need it. We need just good news.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Positive news.
Exactly.
A mass media focus on the positive things right now and cultural things and all around the country.
Mm. Okay. With respect to your experience in the media, and then, seeing how the media has transformed, from the past until now, when it comes to age-wise, how has the media changed, in Colombia during the last 20 years?
Well,
Well, I was asking before, you know, your experience in the mass media or in the media has
yeah.
given you a lot of experience, to do what you do now. So talking about the mass media or the media, how has
How's it? Uh-huh.
yeah, how has it changed in the last 20 years? Has it changed for good or changed for the worse?
Well, has it changed for good? I think now we have all the news at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
but we have the power. We we need to learn how to play with it. Uh, I just think that the most important thing at the moment is to corroborate. You have the tools, is there. You have the information, is there. Don't believe everything,
Mm-hmm.
but that is the thing that happens before. When you get the news, you were expecting the news at the TV, at the radio station, and also you buy content at the newspaper. Now you don't see papers. You see it, everything online. Everything is digital right
Yeah.
now. But not only that, you have the power in your cell phone. The thing is that now you, with a cell phone, can be the center of information with your social media, or you have a live here in Facebook, and now you can become a worldwide center of information.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see the influencers in YouTube, in Instagram, also in Facebook. Every social media right now um, has become a center of information due to any kind of person in any place all around the world.
Yeah.
So that is a power. Now you have the power. Now the mass media battle against no with another social media channels. They can battle against you because the information is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, you only have to take it, and if you replicate it, if you responsibility, you must
Exactly.
be responsible
Yeah.
of what you replicate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the most important thing that has changed in these 10 or 20 years, you know.
Excellent, excellent. All right. So the next few minutes or so, we're gonna delve into what you love the most. Apart from being a journalist, you also love sports. Yeah.
Yep.
So uh, why do you like sports? And what's your favorite sports? When it comes to the sporting world.
Well, as you see, you can see this.
Jerseys. Yeah.
Yeah, my jerseys is from Colombian team and also Barcelona Football Club.
Okay.
I always liked football, I can say every kid in any part of the world. I used to play soccer as a young man, as a child. I trained for Villavicencio club and for my college. Also here at the university, I played a lot of soccer. Also, I got into the mass media to study communication and journalism because my dream was always to work with any mass media with that subject, with sports, especially football. And yeah, I always be in love with football game or
So,
soccer play.
so it means you're good at playing football, right?
I was really good. I
Oh,
was really good, my friend. I was.
are you still playing now?
I was almost to get in the professional league here.
Mm.
I can say that, and a lot of people can say that. But I had a very bad injury in my
Mm.
knee, and I had to stop right
Oh,
now and just dedicate to walking around. I
okay,
needed to, yeah.
okay. And talking about sports and you being a journalist, I think you are very well knowledgeable when it comes to sports. Like every team around the world, there are players who earn more than the other players, even though they are all within the same team. Based on your performance, you might be earning more than your colleagues. So, do you think professional sports stars are paid too much?
Yes. Yes, for me it's too much right now. When we see the contract of people like Lionel Messi,
Mhm.
Cristiano Ronaldo, and right now the most important player in the world in this subject is Mbappe. And you can see it is for me it's ridiculous that amount of money just for one player.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous for me. Because I don't know how can I say, but we need to be equally in the in all kind of sports. Yeah, I love football, but also I can see in bicycle that these guys are suffering so much to be professional, and they didn't get paid like 10% of that amount, and the effort is 100% more. You can say that. For me, it's difficult to accept that.
Yeah.
And the thing is not that kind of that amount of money is not just for the player, it's for the business itself. That's the problem.
Exactly.
All the movement that are around the player is the difficult thing to accept.
Okay. Um, the next question is when you come to Colombia in Spanish, you say machista. Uh, yeah. In English, we say chauvinist. When it's a male, we say male chauvinist. And when it's a female, we say female chauvinist. Yeah. Uh, talking about sports, do you think we should encourage more women's sports? You know, I saw you posted about, Colombia
Yeah.
women under 20,
Yeah.
well. Do you think we should promote more of women soccer or women sports?
Yes, of course. Yes, I said it. Talking about the last question about Mbappe, about Lionel Messi, about here in Colombia, we had James Rodriguez, we have Radamel Falcao,
Mm,
greatest players for me ever here for the Colombian team. But right now, you can see these girls uh, doing a great moment, or giving us a great moment in the history, not just for sports. You know what I mean? It's, uh, it's more than sports. It's the values of these girls, like 17 years old, 18 years old, almost 20 years old,
mm.
giving it all for uh,
The
for this
country,
jersey.
yeah.
Yeah, for that jersey. But they don't get paid like 1%
Mm,
of that amount that we were talking about right before. So it's very sad for that,
mm,
because I think when you are talking properly well about the girls, you don't need to talk bad about the guys, but there is a big difference, and we need to encourage, we need to value that effort that these
exactly.
girls are doing nowadays.
Mm,
Yesterday, Colombian team, the world champion is sub 20, I think, but they won against Germany, and Germany have a professional league, a women's professional league. We don't have league for the girls, so it's really sad
yeah.
that they are making history right now, and they don't have a place to work here in Colombia. That's
Yeah,
the thing, you know.
that's really sad. Yeah. Okay, the last question in 1 minute. Can you tell us a great sporting event you watched? That you went like, wow, this is one of the greatest, sport event I have ever watched in my life.
Not just in football game, or any kind of sports.
Yeah, any kind of sport.
Well, I like basketball as well. And I was in my youth, in like in the 90s, I was really a big fan of Chicago
Mm,
Bulls. Michael Jordan was my hero, and still nowadays no one can be close to him.
yeah.
Also, well, I admire, and I can say I love Stephen Curry, LeBron James. Also in American football, you can see other kind of athletes or sport. I really like the sports. I really into sports,
Mm,
because that was part of my job,
mm,
but also part of my dream when I was younger, and I couldn't do it properly because of my injury.
yeah.
But right now, maybe you will talking about with some important guy in sports, because that was my life. I love that, and any kind of sports, or any person who who make it into sports have my admiration, because I know how hard, how difficult it is. Tennis as well. I love tennis. I love, obviously, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal. But talking about the basketball game, I think that that team of 93, 94 with Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan ahead. Mm, I think that you wouldn't find, or you won't find something like that in the history of sports.
Okay, okay, okay. The last question, what is your personal mantra in life?
Personal what? Tell me.
Mantra.
Mantra.
Yeah.
Well, I have many tattoos in my body with a big mantra, and I think the music. I think my family, and I think that two mantras give me peace,
Mm.
and give me love, and everything. I think that when I think in my family, listening to music, blues, I hear some records here, jazz, and different kind of music, and thinking about my family, that is a perfect mantra for me.
Mm.
And also watch a good game, football
Okay.
game, and that's it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mister, for your time. We
Hey,
thank
Hudson.
you for being here. I hope to talk to you to some other time. We appreciate your time for being around.
No, I appreciate your invitation. And for me, it's a very good exercise to improve my English nowadays. So I want to talk with you more often.
Okay. Great. Great.